The gods want to finish Ragnarok as soon as possible. This is their discussion table, with these representing the fallen gods thus far. Poor Zeus, and now have a look at the Norse gods. Still a full stack, and Thor being even more mysterious than ever. Since he defeated Lubu in round 1 of Ragnarok, he hasn't really done anything at all, apart from that one time we cut to him smile when it was revealed that Buddha has betrayed humanity. Outside of that, nothing really at all. Now he's just sitting there not saying a word, apart from looking at Odin at various times for some type of confirmation with what's going on. With this last remaining chief god being as suspicious as ever, we have a scene where Shiva is talking to Loki, asking him who he's going to fight against, and before Loki can even give a proper answer, we have Odin shutting it down, which in combination with the various other scenes we've gotten from Odin throughout the series, everything he does most likely has a reason, and not wanting Loki to reveal this is probably for something important in the future of the story, so I cannot wait for more reveals regarding the Norse Pantheon's goals. But more importantly regarding this month's chapter, we have the greatness of Susanoo and wackiness of Anubis to go over, and much more in today's video. First up, for the context of the already insane hype this chapter established for Susanoo, we have Brynhilde reveal for the likes of Akita Tsuji that he is known as the strongest human slayer in mankind's history, with him requesting and accepted as the round 10 fighter for humanity, being a similar situation to how Sasaki ended up fighting in round 3. Brynhilde was shown stressing about who to choose as the next fighter, as right now after Apollo defeated Leonidas, the gods have taken the lead for the first time in a while, meaning humanity really can't afford to lose any fights moving forward, especially the next one, with a scene being shown of her going through all the remaining fighters. Once again, our boy Rasputin has finally been mentioned, not shown still, but he's mentioned alongside Nostradamus, Simo, Kintoki, and then we have the arrival of Akita, who's accepted as the fighter. All of this connects to why Susanoo wants to fight in this round for the purpose of facing Akita. This is what he says: the next opponent is the strongest human slayer. I heard it's Akita Tsuji, isn't that right? This is due to Hermes actually revealing to him that he is the next fighter for humanity. Being a cheater per se, however, it makes sense. Brynhilde has known what the next god fighter is going to be for pretty much most rounds at this point, so it's only fair for the gods to have the, I guess, advantage. However, it's not really an advantage, it's just someone who wants to fight one of the humans. He continues to say, if the opponent is the strongest human slayer, then I, heaven's greatest god slayer, will be the next to go. The battle of the slayers. So does this mean Susanoo is another character who's actually killed a god before? I'm hoping we get to actually see this in his flashback throughout the fights. However, the build up for him doesn't exactly stop there. When he first arrives, we have this insane aura around him, with this actually causing the likes of Ares to freak out, claiming that my body is so heavy, I feel I'll be crushed just being around him, which it's Ares talking about that. However, it's still very impressive and badass, alongside his design being absolutely sick, and the whole pretty much main exchange between him and Anubis throughout this chapter is him saying pretty much the one line, he's the one who's going to go next. He doesn't care about Anubis being already selected, or I guess requesting before him to fight next and being accepted by Zeus and the Norse gods. He just wants to go next and continues to say it until Anubis finally gives up and says, sure, you can go. Which we actually get a callback to a similar situation between Shiva and Zeus for round 2 of Ragnarok. Remember when Zeus cucked Shiva, and then I guess Hercules also cucked Shiva in the later rounds, but yeah, a callback was actually provided, which is pretty cool, while also revealing that Anubis has been waiting quietly for his turn, like a good doggy, which is pretty much his whole character at this point, a wild animal, and I cannot wait to see him actually fight as well. Even though his design and personality isn't exactly what I wanted, it's still quite interesting and I guess unique per se. And if he does fight a very stoic and badass Rasputin, I think that's going to be a pretty wild and more so perfect matchup when Rasputin does defeat him naturally. Apart from that, we have some reveals regarding the technology and of course what the gods are capable of in the Ragnarok universe. We see that Shiva's arms are fully healed now and he can even fight now, as he claims, "My wounds are long healed." If you remember to the first time we saw him after he defeated Raiden, he had these weird things around his body. These actually regenerated his arms and fully healed him, meaning it's possible that even the human fighters could have access to this type of technology, meaning we could have the likes of Hu Wang returning with his arm, which is of course cool and I guess beneficial for the future of the story. If there are fights outside of the tournament, the gods that were injured to a degree will be fully ready to go, and likewise for the humans. However, we did see the likes of Sasaki Kodra after facing Poseidon when that whole exchange between Team Loki and Team Buddha was occurring. He was still injured to a degree from his fight, so maybe this is only for the gods, but who knows. Speaking of Hu Wang, we also get to see his master in the little side parts of this chapter having an interaction with the likes of Brunhilde. So I imagine throughout Okita and Susanor's fight, we're going to have the return of Hu Wang to the story and have his reactions to the fight, which is going to be pretty cool, especially considering Okita was one of the characters mainly talking and reacting to Hu Wang fighting. Having the opposite situation would be pretty cool, and even having him react and talk to the other characters, for example with the likes of Jack the Ripper, would be pretty cool. All of those possibilities and interactions are going to be hard to see. It's been a whole round since we've seen him, so I think it's time to show it. Considering we saw her, he's probably looking for him. I'm guessing he's going to appear in the coming chapters as well. So it's confirmed in the translations that the scar Apollo received on his face isn't going to be healed out of respect for Leonidas being so strong. And speaking of Leonidas, we have Sasaki and the other fighters claim the following: "That was a match to be proud of." Not sure if I agree too much about that. I'm kinda a Leonidas hater. I think he was done very dirty in the series. I talk about my whole review of round 9 in this video here if you want to check it out. But I guess they all praise Leonidas regardless of the situation. And Okita being jealous due to something which connects to his flashback, as I'll be explaining in a future video. Once again, I mention in every video, Okita is a character from one of the author's previous manga within the same universe. Okita died before he could really fulfill everything he wanted to, meaning he's most likely going to be a character who's gotten much stronger after death. And he even claims in this chapter, "On my last days, I also wanted to fight to my fullest and scatter in the end. However, he wasn't able to do that." Meaning when he does actually fight Susanoo and this fight begins, my man is going to go crazy and give it his absolute all. Now before I end today's video, we have one more thing to talk about. We have Zeus think a little bit about Beelzebub and what he's doing. Personally, I'm not sure what his role in the future of the story is going to be. His overarching goal hasn't really been achieved, and the whole Satan implications regarding who he really is didn't get fully explored and clarified in his fight against Tesla, so hopefully that occurs in the future of the story, but once again could be a god which has a role after the tournament itself, so I can't wait to see him and his interactions, maybe with Hu Wang as well, considering he's the one who actually killed Hades and the whole reason for Beelzebub going all out in his fight against Tesla to get revenge for Hades. But that's everything for today's video. Become a member with all these other benefits. Shout out to the members, subscribe. That's it guys. Peace.